Good afternoon, everyone. The European Superfreeze, not only did it kill livestock, record snowfall, record cold, it also affected water temperatures enough that thousands of starfish and other sea life is washing up on the beaches. This is just a small glimpse of what is being recorded over these days. Extreme cold results, agricultural damage across Europe, prices rising, New Zealand flooding, thousands of sheep left dead and trapped. The farmers, after this storm at this ferocity, are trying to free their sheep that were buried as they took refuge. An enormous amount of news feeds are following this story, and it just goes to show colder temperatures on the planet are not a good thing. And while you're watching the video, please remember to subscribe to Adapt 2030 and click that bell so you can get the latest updates. The beast from the east, otherwise known as the European Superfreeze, bringing record snows and shattered cold temperature records across Europe for the last 11 days. People are suddenly discovering now that it's warm enough where they can go outside onto the beaches, this enormous amount of sea life that has been affected due to the cooler than normal water temperatures. Now keep this in mind, this is only one single instance of what's happening across coastlines from Spain all the way through the UK. This is one tiny little instance of all these starfish that are washed up. These other images that I'm seeing are of lobsters and eels and fish. It's truly amazing what that cold did even to the water temperatures. This is in Ramsgate in Kent. And as you look up the beach in the left photo here, it's starfish after starfish. There's hundreds of thousands of these. And taking a more detailed look in, the numbers they were putting were in the hundreds of thousands of this. And the last time that they'd seen something on this par was in Worcester in Maryland, 1960, across the pond, if you will, the other side of the Atlantic Ocean on the east coast of the United States. But this would be probably number 2 in what has seen, and this is considered a starfish die-off. The headline here, extreme cold results in severe agricultural damage across Europe, food prices rising, of course. Now these are the images that are coming from this last few days. And you notice the extreme cold of this severity also took place February 2018. And then I was doing a story on this myself on a video 11 months ago. It seems to be a trend. And if you look back at the vineyard losses, especially in Austria and France, Germany last year, and then you'll see the same areas being affected this year, it's not just weather anymore, it's climate. And our climate is shifting to a cooler state because our sun is going into a grand solar minimum. Increases in cosmic rays as well, more cloud cover. Here's another instance. Evacuation, roads shut, flash floods, Hawke's Bay, down in New Zealand. And when you're looking at images like this through the vineyard areas, well, you know you're going to have some crop losses there as well. What's happening over in Spain with the damage to the greenhouses that supplies a majority of the UK and also Northern Europe, that was majorly impacted, so you can expect price rises all through Europe. Now, the forecast for Australia this year is going to be all-time record cold, according to meteorologist David Taylor, who does forecasting, and he also runs the Brisbane Weather and East Coast Weather Facebook pages. So we'll see what happens in Australia this year. But it's already indicating something unusual, especially with these floods already this early. Now, the beast from the east, otherwise known as the European Superfreeze, and I notice that the media never calls it a superfreeze. They don't put record cold in these headlines either. It's all just these catchy names that they assign so they don't have to deal with the fact that it was an anomalous Arctic freeze that came across that they hadn't experienced since the 1960s. Which shouldn't be happening according to the IPCC. Livestock affected as well. Not only is it the sea life, but also the livestock. So we're talking about massive snowstorms blanketing thousands of sheep. Now that the weather conditions are mild enough for farmers to actually go out into the fields, They're now looking for buried sheep. Now, unbeknownst to me, in the UK, you're not allowed to bury your dead sheep on your own property. You have to actually dispose of them. So this cost ranges anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds per carcass. This one farmer here ended up with 80 dead animals that needed to be disposed of. The conditions were harsh. Republic of Ireland, all-time record snows. Wales, all-time record snows. Cold records being smashed. And now Ireland is confirmed the coldest February on record. So now they're out trying to find all these sheep that have been buried alive. You know, they took shelter from the storm in these blasting winds at 60, 70 miles an hour with drifts 12 feet tall. Now the sheep need to be rescued, and it really is an all-out effort. And where you look across the media, this is one of those heartfelt stories where people are trying to rescue these sheep that are buried before they suffocate as the snow starts to cave in on them, and it gets a little bit wetter as these warmer temperatures. And it's just picture after picture of people racing to save these sheep. And I'd like to thank the sponsors of the video, TrueLeafMarket.com, Heirloom and Organic Seeds. They truly have an amazing collection, and I believe these seeds are some of the best on the planet for you to plant, because we're all going to have to go back to Victory Garden, planting some of our own vegetables to get through some of the losses as the supply chain is disrupted and other places are not able to deliver. I've left all the links below. You can support me there, TrueLeafMarket.com. Thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of the video.